So we have, in more sort of recent months, we have made a few acquisitions on the principle of growing a product portfolio. I think what has become apparent to me over the last 3 years is that graphene companies that go to market with a graphene, one specification or two specifications, have a very narrow window of opportunity or window of success in applications. A very small particle might work wonderfully in a coating, but it will never work well in a concrete. So what has become apparent to me is that product breadth drives the breadth of our opportunities. And that's something that we are working to expand our traditional or internal pure graph portfolio or product line. And we're also tacking on more products now to give us that breadth of products. As I said, our pipeline is quite full. So when we look at the next 6, 12, 18 months, I see some good revenue shift positively. We've got all the hard work done on about 50 of those clients. They represent anything from 10 kilos a year up to 20 tons per year. So fairly broad opportunity base, but the hard work's done when they're executing those through commercial agreements or just basically waiting for their product launches. So that consumes us over the next 12 to 18 months. Outside of that, I see the breadth of products really starting to kick in. This is where we've had people developing it for 2 or 3 years. Where we hit stumbling blocks, we have a broader portfolio to say, well, we've tried this, let's try these other 3 options. Also, one of the options or one of the acquisitions we've just made is very much focused on the US, which is not something that we have done naturally over the last few years. Most of our attention has been going into Australia, into UK and Europe. But now with that acquisition, we really open up a pipeline of opportunity and a broad segment of opportunities within the United States, and that we'll feel that through revenue and organic revenue growth as well. Yeah, so we announced yesterday that we have acquired the assets of Mito Material Solutions, and Mito have been basically working with a feedstock of graphene or graphene oxide from several different parties, ourselves included, and they work it through a process of functionalization. So they artificially put other components onto those graphene and graphene oxide platelets. And so that process just builds on the breadth of performance. It lets you tune the performance you're trying to enhance, and in some cases gets better results than just a plain graphene or plain graphene oxide. So we see that as being quite an extension of our product offering. And like I said, it comes with US clients and US pipeline of opportunity, which is really quite serious. The point of the acquisition is to buy that technology, buy the product lines, the formulations, the process, the current revenue generating clients, and the pipeline. So we acquire all of that as part of our acquisition. Second, we get that inorganic revenue growth. Third, we get the pipeline, and fourth, we get a US platform to help us build our business in the US. So this is a toll manufactured product line in the United States going into United States clients and a United States pipeline. So those are things that we just simply don't have a strength in right now. So that gives us a lot wider product portfolio and penetration into the US, which is really important to us moving forward.